Have you ever wondered why people emphasize financial literacy and the importance of understanding money, and you think to yourself, hey, I've been dealing with money my whole life. I don't need your help, bro. But I submit to you, the real issue isn't financial literacy. The real issue is financial wisdom. So in this video, I'm going to break down why financial literacy is useless and why you need to gain financial wisdom. So let's break down the word financial literacy. Financial literacy simply means, but let's break it down again. First word, finances. When you think about finance, you think about money. Literacy, you think about competence in a specific area or knowledge in a specific area, right? So, that's fine and dandy, having an understanding of money, but we need to get to a place of financial wisdom. What is financial wisdom? Finances, again, is money. Wisdom is the knowledge of what is true and right applied, right? So a lot of people know what they need to do, but they do not do it, right? So we need to get to a place of application. So again, in this video, I'm going to break it down. So my son, right, I got a 20-month-old. He'll have to turn 2 in about 2 months, right? He's a blessing. But he loves to go and mess with my dog's dog food. Like, he loves to go over there and mess with it. And in my head, I just be like, oh my goodness, like, why are you messing with the dog food? But every time he goes over there, we tell him, no, like, don't go over there. You're not supposed to go over there. Don't mess with the dog food. But he goes over there and then he looks at me. Like, he'll look at me or his mother because he knows he's not supposed to go over there, but he still does it. So again, why am I saying that? Because we know what we're supposed to do, but sometimes we act like my son. We go by the dog food and we look up, right? We look up and know we're not supposed to do it. When we hear no, and we still do it, right? So the key in financial wisdom, not just knowing not to go to the dog food, but actually not going by it. And no, I'm not trying to compare you to my son in any way, right? I'm just telling y'all a story just to illustrate us as humans. Again, we know what we're supposed to do, but we don't do it. So how do we get to a place of action? And how do we get to a place of doing? Because I can teach you all day about money, but if you don't apply, you can look up YouTube video, how to gain financial literacy. What is financial literacy? How do I understand money more? But it doesn't matter if you don't apply it. All right, so let me tell you a story. So I met my real estate mentor at 17 years old. So this is how the story break down, right? I was 17 years old, a senior in high school, and I was working at Jason's Deli at the time. Jason's Deli, making $7.25 an hour, and at this point in time, I was on the game all the time. Like, I was on the game all day. I was really addicted to the game. So one day, me and my dad went out. We was leaving church and we went to IHOP. We went to IHOP and he asked me, son, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your life? And I answered, I want to play the game all day. That's a joke, but right now that seemed like a good idea, because when you look at, Cosnet, Aiden, all these streamers on Twitch, they're making a killing by just playing the game. So probably should have pursued it, but hey, that's neither here nor there. So again, jokingly, that was a joke, but in all seriousness, I told him I wanted to do real estate. So y'all, we went, again, we were at IHOP, and not even 30 minutes later, by the grace of God, it's all God, it's not luck, it's not fate. We went to Starbucks. My dad was getting my sister something to drink, like a Frappuccino. She loved those. So I'm in the car, I'm chilling. They go in there, like, I ain't trying to deal with all that, like, y'all get the Frappuccino. And he come back and I hear a knock on the window. And I turn and look at the window and it's my dad. He said, hey, my friend from high school, my old friend, teaching his son real estate. Come get this game. Y'all, not even, again, like I told y'all, that wasn't even 30 minutes later. Like, when God opens the door for you, walk through the door, right? A lot of people, God open doors and they don't walk through them, and they trying to still unlock doors and they locking the door that God already opened. Do not lock the door that God already opened. He already opened it. Just walk through it. Point blank, period. So, I walked through that door, right? I walked through the door. I didn't have like no papers or nothing like that. I just had a Starbucks napkin. So I had a pen and a Starbucks napkin. I'm writing all the game down on a Starbucks napkin. So he was teaching me how to get into real estate with no money, no license, no credit. And at that point in time, again, I'm working at Jason Deli, $7.25 an hour, and like no money getting into real estate. Like, hey, thank you God. Like, let's go. Like, we about to get into this thing. Like, I need to learn this ASAP and apply ASAP. So the next day, y'all, I quit my job. Like, I literally quit my job. I said, I'm done working for $7.25 an hour. I just cannot do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm doing something different. So I'm telling all my friends at school, I'm telling teachers, anybody I talk to, I'm telling them, hey, you can get in real estate with no money, no license, no credit. And they didn't believe me, right? They didn't believe me. So they had the knowledge of getting into real estate with no money, no license, no credit, but they lacked the wisdom, right? They lacked the wisdom doing it. Even some of my friends tried to do real estate, but they didn't stick through with it because they didn't have the application of wisdom to do it. To even go further, like, I was making $7.25 an hour, y'all. So, after 4 months of hard work, grind, I got a $37,000 deal the day before my high school prom. The day before my high school prom. I'm telling y'all to say that I was working $7.25 an hour, and I closed a $37,000 deal in 4 months. It would have taken me 2.5 years. Y'all, think about that. 2.5 years if I stayed at Jason Deli to make $37,000. 2.5 years at $7.25 an hour. So why don't people take knowledge and apply? Why don't people walk through the doors that God has opened, right? So I have some principles that I want to show y'all, because using financial wisdom can literally save your life, can literally save time, can save your life, right? So it can even help you to be a good man, right? It even help you to be a good man. It can even help you be a great man. So, Jalen, what do you mean be a great man? So if I don't have financial wisdom, I can't be a great man? So let's see what the Bible said about it. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So if you're not using financial wisdom and applying wisdom, the Bible said, I ain't say that. It was in my Bible when I woke up this morning, y'all. Look it up. Proverbs 13:22. Why don't people apply financial wisdom when it's the difference biblically in being a good man or not, right? So, again, I have a couple of underlying principles that if we grasp, that can help you apply wisdom and help you on your journey. So one, we prioritize money too much. We prioritize money way too much. But Jalen, we're talking about finances. You literally just broke down the definition earlier in the first word of financial literacy. Finance is about money. Okay, that makes sense. But let's go back to what the Bible says. So Proverbs 16:16 says, how much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. So when you focus on the money too much, you never get the wisdom, and wisdom is what gives you money, right? So we need to prioritize the skills and not the money. So a lot of people, from the example earlier, some of my friends that stopped real estate is because they 2-3 weeks in, they haven't made the money, they haven't made a penny, and they're stopping because they're already at that $7.25 an hour or $10 an hour, whatever they were working for, then to get the skills that can generate their money effortlessly, easily, right? Again, 4 months, $37,000 because I had the skill and I focused on the wisdom rather than the gold. The wisdom was making calls every day, hearing no's, learning about real estate, watching podcasts, watching videos like this. That was the wisdom part of it. So you need to prioritize again the skills, right? If you give $1 million to a skilled man, if you give $1 million to an unskilled man and $0 to a skilled man, the skilled man that got zero will have more money in a year than the unskilled man that got $1 million. Because biblically, wisdom is worth more than gold. So let's stop focusing on the money. Let's focus on the skills. Right? So another thing, if you look up right now, how long does it take an apple tree to produce apples? And you're going to get a standard apple tree. It takes 4 to 8 years for a standard apple tree to produce fruit. So notice how it is arranged. It doesn't say, hey, in 4.5 years, an apple start forming. It's arranged because it's not a definite time when your wisdom is going to start producing fruit. When all the work you put in is going to start producing. So that means you keep going, you keep persevering, because nature gives us signs, gives us principles that we can abide by in our life. Right? So just because you didn't do it in 2 months don't mean you stop. Myron Golden said as well, if you don't like the output, change the input. Okay, what does that mean? He went even deeper to say, being is the input of doing, and doing is the input of having. Okay, Jalen, that seemed like foreign language to me. So he was breaking it down and he was saying, everybody is doing 100% of what they can be doing based off of who they are. So in order to do more, you have to become more. And in order to have more, you have to do more. So we need to stop focusing on the money and become more so we can do more. And by us doing more, we can have more. Right? It's like when you tell somebody to go through a course or in real estate, go drive for dollars and make some calls, they'd be like, no, I don't want to do all that. Just give me the money. Right? They don't want to put the inputs in, but they want the output. So let's stop focusing on the output and let's focus on the input. Right? You have to, in order to become more, in order to do more, you have to become more. In order to have more, you have to do more. So let's stop focusing on the money. Let's start focusing on the person that we have to become to deserve the money. So next, all work works. Every input you put in will give you an output eventually. A lot of people, again, they start doing something for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it doesn't work for their bank account, so they think it's not working. But the work that you're doing is working on the person that you need to become to deserve the money in your bank account. So like in real estate, every call you make is working. Every no you hear is working. Every rejection you hear is working, but it's working on the person that you have to become, but it's not working on your bank account. Right? And the reason you don't quit when stuff gets hard is because you're focused on the money. Focus on the person you have to become than the money. Do not focus on the money. Right? 3, planting seeds. We do not want to plant seeds as humans. Like, a lot of people do not want to plant seeds. Some actions take time to bear fruit. Right? Let's go back to the Bible. What does the Bible say about it? There's a time. So before I get to the Proverbs scripture, there's a time for sowing and there's a time for reaping. So Proverbs 24 says, lazy farmers don't plow when they should, but they expect a harvest, but there is none. So don't be the person that doesn't plant any seeds and expect a tree to form. Right? Plant seeds, because those seeds will eventually turn into a sprout. The sprout will turn into a tree eventually. It's going to take time. Right? So most people want to sit in the shade and wonder why there's not any trees around. Because you didn't plant none, bro. Like, start planting seeds. Seeds, and again, Going back, everything what I'm saying ties in together. When you plant seeds, you still gotta water the seed. You still gotta give the seed sunlight. It's still gonna take time. So you just don't plant a seed and you leave it there. You have to nurture it. You have to water it. You have to give it sunlight. So a lot of people plant seeds of wanting to do things and then just stop. A lot of people plant seeds and they don't even tend to them, or just flat out don't plant a seed. So we have to plant seeds, and it's gonna take time. That's the biggest thing. Like I told y'all earlier, a tree takes 4 to 8 years to start bearing fruit. It's not a definite time on when it bears fruit. So understand things take time. For belief, right? You have to believe that you are worthy of having what you want. You have to believe that you are worthy. Again, going back to what Myron Golden said, he said expectation is a human's greatest superpower. A lot of people don't even believe that they can get what they want. So Jalen, I know you're saying that. How can I focus on belief? You have to trust the process and feed yourself, feed your spirit good information and good things daily. Every single day you have to feed yourself something that's gonna do you good. My podcast, my channel. I recommend Myron Golden. I recommend Tony Evans. I recommend books, right? Reading books, because you're becoming the type of person that can believe, right? When we talk about becoming, when we talked about earlier, you have to become the type of person that believes. And it's a daily practice, right? It's a daily practice. Every day, 2-3 times a day, listen to informative things. Listen to stuff that grows your belief. Listen to other people's stories and other people's testimonies, so you can see you're not the only person that went through something bad. Not discrediting your bad, but you're not the only person. But the person who gets through the bad and the person who doesn't, it's based off of how much and how strong their belief is. So if you're here today and you're feeling like, oh my goodness, like I'm struggling with belief, you're struggling with everything, you're like in your mind, you're just thinking about everything that can go wrong. I want you to also get a piece of paper or get your notes out on your phone and write down everything that can go right in your life. Everything that can go right and everything that can go wrong. And I want you to only focus on the things that can go right. Because again, expectations are humans' greatest superpower. So if you just focus on the bad things, you're literally draining yourself on focus on the bad things, because scientifically, when you focus on the bad things, you are getting a reaction. Like, it's like you're literally living out that experience when you think about stuff. So live out the good experiences when you think about it. Live out the good, not the bad. Like the worry and the anxiety is not doing nothing but stunning your growth. So those are the 4 principles I want to share with y'all, so we can develop financial wisdom. And again, I want to give y'all hope that this is a journey. This is a journey. Don't think you have to have it after watching this video, after watching a couple of videos. It might take you 3 months. It might take you a year. It might take you 2 years to develop the mindset you need in financial wisdom. But do not quit. Do not quit. So if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a video a week. And also, if you want to get into real estate and learn how to invest in real estate for $5,000, look at my YouTube video from last week. Very informative. And y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all on the flip side.